is Elrema Moses Kaya. I'm the Mwanza City Public Relations Officer. I would like to talk about the partnership between the two cities, the city of Wurzburg and the Mwanza city, which last year we celebrated 50 years of partnership between the two cities. We've been having the relationship in different areas, in education, health, and the social aspects. To mention some few projects that has been sponsored by Wurzburg City, we have a road going from Nyerere Road to our referral hospital of Bugando, exchange program for the students from vocational training in Nyakato, but we're also having exchange programs on the technocrats, the teachers, doctors from Bugando, but also students from St. Augustine University and the Wurzburg University. We have received firefighting trucks, and as I'm speaking, we also received a donation of one firefighting truck from Wurzburg, and we are on the final stages of clearing it from Dar es Salaam port. I would like to talk now about the 50 municipal climate change. The 50 municipal climate change, there are three areas. One is the solar plants. The Wurzburg city has supported this project, divided into two phases. Phase one, it was the installation of solar panels, district hospital, Nyamagana hospital, the city radio, which is very useful for our city, and as you know, is our main objective. The city is service delivery, but also creating awareness to the people. The second phase now will be installation of the panels, headquarters of our city, but also the Mkolani Secondary School. Another good project, it is the solar fish lantern. This is a project that has been really useful because our fishermen were using the kerosene lamps. And the kerosene lamps, after we carried a survey, they were expensive to run, but they were also dangerous because at times they would explode, causing severe injuries to the fishermen, but also causing serious pollution in our lake. So we have received and distributed 110 solar lanterns in exchange to these kerosene lanterns. Another area is now the development of sustainable tourism in Mwanza. Is the ASA project. Cultural learning, we having the exchange program between the people from Wurzburg, students from the University of Wurzburg and those of St. Augustine. But looking at the history in general, the history of Tanganyika, Tanzania, and in brief, this is what I would like to talk about. But the partnership between Mwanza City and Wurzburg is a partnership that we really cherish.
The Climate Change Partnership Project between Mwanza and Wurzburg aims at mitigating the effect of climate change as the Aalborg global commitment. The idea behind was to raising awareness on the renewable sources of energy and increase capacity on the sources of energy to the public. The idea on the project came into practice by installing the 4 photovoltaic plants in the 4 municipal buildings, installing the 40 kilowatts peak at Nyamagana Hospital, 7 kilowatt peak at City Radio, 15 kilowatt peak at Buhongwa Secondary School, and 50 kilowatt peak at the main city hall to feed in the grid so as to support the surplus of energy generated by the PVs. At the moment, we are in a position to receive the new shipment of the second phase, of which we will install the 15 kilowatts at Buhongwa Secondary School and 50 kilowatts at Mwanza City Hall.
The project has got 3 parts. Part 1 is to raise awareness about sustainable tourism development in Mwanza and the nearby region. For that reason, we conducted a seminar in April of this year, which apart from raising awareness, the participants were able to contribute their valuable ideas to the national tourism policy, which was under review. The second part but very connected to the first part, is to identify different tourist attractions and develop them. The Gunzat House is mentioned as an iconic attraction of the area.
The project that was created to be put as an apex of escalating the sustainable tourism in Mwanza, and also to increase an opportunity for the cultural related industries for the people in Mwanza and the Lake zone as whole. The Gunzat House project started for the target of renovating the old German fort house, which was the residence of the Governor Theodore Gunzat. We wanted to link the history with the present time to make the building an opportunity for the people of Mwanza to boost sustainable tourism and to give a platform for all cultural related industries in the city. The Gunzat House has basic foundations. As the first part of the project, we wanted to establish a museum which will preserve a history from pre-colonial to post-colonial to serve and provide the people of Mwanza an opportunity to understand the history of its city and the history of Mwanza in general. In categorizing the project, the Gunzat House also aimed to serve social and economic benefit for the city of Mwanza, basing on educational program. Like the Gunzat House also planned to establish a public library that will give information of history, tourism, and other knowledge information. Gunzat House also planned to establish a public theater which will be a platform for the creative industry and people in Mwanza, from groups to individuals, artists, to have a platform to exhibit their talents and express their way of living through art. We plan to establish a public park and a botanical garden which will be a recreational center for people in Mwanza, a place to hang out with families and to enjoy the beauty and history of Mwanza. The project intends to open a space for creative industries, from women groups to youth groups, which will be a public art market and all the handicraft production from different groups across the city, which will be a unique place, and it will be an attractive place for visitors, even local tourists, to purchase the souvenirs and to enjoy the art and culture of the city.
In the project of improving the sustainable tourism in Mwanza, we came into agreement that there was a need to rehabilitate and renovate Bujora Sukuma Museum. We decided together with all the department concerned that in Bujora there is a need to improve the Bagika and Bagalo house, the Sukuma wall map, and also to improve the standard of the toilet due to the available funds granted. But also next year we have been also promised that we will receive another 4,500 euros for continuing improving the Bujora Sukuma Museum.
Awareness on sustainable tourism issues, but it is also in our hearts that the success of this project is as important as the success of renovating preservation of the Gunzat House.
On behalf of Mwanza City Council, I comment on the projects that has been sponsored by Wurzburg City, and I say long live partnership between Mwanza City and Wurzburg. Thank you so much.